etagũo mwarimu Wabui. Hello, my name is Teacher Wabui. This is simple Kikuyu lessons where we learn Kikuyu step by step. Thank you so much for choosing to join us. Thank you for the people who have subscribed, those who are following us, and those who've been asking questions. We appreciate each one of you. In this episode, we'll be looking at introduction. How do you introduce yourself? How do you self-introduce yourself? How do you introduce yourself if you're asked by someone else? The Kikuyu word for introduction is Gwĩtambũrũkia. Well, that sounds difficult, but we're going to break it down. Gwĩtambũrũkia. Gwĩtambũrũkia. Gwĩtambũrũkia, when the direct translation for this word is stretching. So the Kikuyu version is like you're stretching yourself, you're letting yourself be known by other people. Wĩtambũrũkia, introduction. So come along, get your pen, get your paper, whatever device you're using, and let's learn how to introduce ourselves. If you're self-introducing yourself, you start by Njĩtagũo, 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 or Njĩtagũo, Njĩtagũo. My name is, for example, if I am introducing myself, I will say Njĩtagũo Wabui, Njĩtagũo Wabui, Njĩtagũo Wabui. My name is Wabui. Where do I live? Njikaraga, Njikaraga, Njikaraga. So if I am, for example, if I live in Kiambu, one of the counties where Kikuyu is widely spoken, I will say Njikaraga, Njikaraga, Kiambu. I live in Kiambu. Njikaraga, Kiambu. I live in Kiambu. So you can fill in wherever you live. If you live in New York, you can say Njikaraga, New York. Or if you live in Canada or if you live in Uganda, you can say Njikaraga, Uganda, or wherever you live. If you want to say the name for maybe one of your parents, your dad, probably, Fafa, which is dad. And if you forgot, I think we have done a video about our parents, and if not, it's coming. Fafa, etagũo. Fafa is dad or father. Fafa, etagũo. Fafa, etagũo. My dad's name is Fafa, etagũo. Fafa, etagũo. My dad's name is, and you can fill it in. If your dad's name is, I don't know, maybe John, you can say Fafa, etagũo John. Or if your dad's name is Karaoke, Fafa, etagũo Karaoke. So you can fit it in there. Maitu, and Maitu is mom or mother. Some people say Maitu, some people say mami. Remember in our previous video, we said depending on where your Kikuyu is coming from, there's some words that are just slightly different, in the way they are known, but they all mean the same. Maitu, which is mom, Maitu etagũo, or mami etagũo. My mom's name is, so if your mom's name is Sophia, for example, or Jerry, you can say Maitu etagũo Sophia. Mami etagũo Sophia, or mami etagũo Jerry. My mom's name is, and then you fill it in. Ndari, which is number, and please, if you forgot about this, we've done a video on numbers. Ndari means number. Ndari, ciakwa, thimu, or my phone number. Thimu is phone. Ndari, ciakwa, my phone number. Ndari, ciakwa, thimu, ne. My phone number is, and then you put it in. Now, phone number, we have people who use like number and they just say naba. Naba, ciakwa, thimu. So instead of Ndari, which means all the same, you can put naba, ciakwa, thimu, ne. My phone number is naba, ciakwa, thimu, ne, or Ndari, ciakwa, Here, thimu ne, my phone number is. Now that you know how to self-introduce yourself, how do you respond when somebody wants to know more about you? Are you going to be confident talking about yourself in a good way and a clear way? Let's look at how do you respond. Witagũo atĩa? Witagũo atĩa? Witagũo atĩa? What is your name? How do you respond? Njĩtagũo. 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 My name is. Witagũo atĩa? Witagũo atĩa? What is your name? Njĩtagũo. Njĩtagũo. My name is. And then you fill in the blank. Direct translation to this one right here, Witagũo, is like, what do they call you? And Njĩtagũo is they call me. For example, if somebody is asking me, they'll ask Witagũo atĩa, and I'll respond Njĩtagũo wabui. Njĩtagũo wabui. If they want to know more about you, they'll ask, for example, typically people will ask, where do you live? Where do you come from? So let's look at how do you respond to this. Kwanyu niku. Kwanyu niku. Where do you come from? Kwanyu niku. Or they can ask you, Umite. 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 So these two goes together. So somebody can either ask you, Kwanyu niku or Umite. But typically what they're asking you is, where do you come from? Like your home, where do you come from? Kwanyu niku. And you would respond, Gwitũ ne. So Gwitũ, direct translation to this, Gwitũ is like my place or my home. Gwitũ ne. And then you fill in the blanks. Kwanyu niku. Please. Kwanyu niku. Umite. And now, you would reply, Gwitũ ne. For example, you're from Nairobi, you would say, Gwitũ ne Nairobi, or Gwitũ ne Mombasa, or Gwitũ ne New York, or Gwitũ ne Canada, or Gwitũ ne. So you just fill in the blanks. Umite, so meaning, where do you come from? If they want to ask specifically, where do you live? So we know you come from Nairobi, but where do you live right now? Maybe this one is like original. Where do you come from? Ũikaraga. So this is more like presently. Where do you live right now? Ũikaraga. 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 Where do you live? And you would say, Njikaraga. 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 I live in. So if you live in, let's say you live in Nanyuki or you live in Kibwezi, you would say Njikaraga Kibwezi. Or you live in Holland, you would say Njikaraga Holland. Or if you live in Sweden, you would say Njikaraga, wherever you live, Njikaraga. So they will ask you, Ũikaraga kũ? Where do you live? Ũikaraga kũ? Njikaraga. And finally, typically some people will not include this last part, but it's always good to be nice to other people when you're asking them for their personal information. And you would say, ne wega ne gukumenya. Ne wega, which is this part, ne wega means thank you. Ne wega ne gukumenya. Nice to meet you. Ne wega ne gukumenya. Ne wega ne gukumenya. This is like at the end of asking you. It's always nice, when you're asking somebody for their personal information. Where do you live? What is your name? Where do you live? Just be nice and tell them ne wega ne gukumenya. Thank you so much for watching Simple Kikuyu Lessons. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.